Hello, we're reading The Puppy Place, where every puppy finds a home. This one here is about Scout. Today we're on the last chapter. Casey had written to Mrs. Abson's class too. All day the next day, Mrs. Abson had to keep asking the class to settle down. Everyone was buzzing with excitement about when Casey would get home from Mexico. Plus, Lizzie had shared the story about Scout finding and rescuing Buddy. The class was so proud of Scout, too. They couldn't wait until she was a real search and rescue dog so they could sponsor her. But Lizzie knew that what Scout really needed was a forever family to live with. She was such an amazing puppy. She needed a home with people who really appreciated how smart she was and what she could do. Lizzie was really hoping that Meg would be able to help find Scout a perfect home with one of her for her search and rescue friends. Lizzie and Charles were walking home from school that afternoon when their dad pulled up next to them in the van. "Hop in," he said. Meg just called from the airport. She and Casey had just arrived and were going to pick them up. Really? Lizzie could hardly believe it. She and Charles climbed into the van. Lizzie watched the scenery go by, thinking about the last time she had come this way when she and Meg had picked up Scout. That hadn't been so very long ago, but Lizzie already felt as if she had known Scout forever. This wasn't going to be easy to say goodbye to Scout when the time came for her to go to her forever home. That was the hard part about fostering puppies. Lizzie and Charles were always sad to let them go, but every puppy was so special. Lizzie felt very lucky to be able to spend a little bit of time with each of them. Soon Dad pulled into the airport parking lot. He and Lizzie and Charles got out and headed across the walkway to the small terminal. Lizzie looked around. The building was full of people walking up and down looking for their baggage and getting in line for tickets. But where was Meg? And where was Casey? When she saw a woman bending over a dog's travel crate to open the door, a brown and black head poked out. Pointy nose, pointy ears. It was Casey. Lizzie started running. Meg stood up and turned to give Lizzie a hug, and her face was serious. "Lizzie," she began. But Lizzie had already bent down to say hello to Casey. Why wasn't she coming out of her crate? Lizzie petted Casey's head and scratched her between her ears the way she liked. "Hey, girl," she said. Then she saw the bandages. Casey's shoulder was wrapped in gauze. By then, Charles and Dad had caught up. "What is it?" Dad asked. Lizzie, he could tell she was upset. "Casey's hurt," Lizzie said. She looked at Meg. "What is it? What happened?" "Remember when Casey was limping that time at your house?" Meg asked. "Well, she fell when she was climbing into the cellar in Mexico to save a little girl, and that shoulder injury got a lot worse. She had to have an operation." Dad put an arm around Meg's shoulders. "I'm sorry," he said. Meg nodded. "So am I. But she's not in pain anymore. The vet said she'll heal quickly and be able to walk around again really soon." "That's good," Lizzie said. She and Charles were kneeling by Casey's crate, patting her gently on the face. "So when will she be able to go back to work?" Meg didn't answer. Lizzie looked up to see Meg's eyes were filled with tears. She was shaking her head. "Never," she said. "Casey's going to have to retire from search and rescue work, and I'm losing my partner." "Wow." Lizzie didn't know what to say. That was terrible news. "Casey was so good at what she did, but she'll have to be your pet, right?" she says. "Of course," said Meg. "This girl's going to have a cushiest retirement ever. I'm going to get her a big soft bed and feed her bonbons every day and rent videos for her to watch." Lizzie could tell Meg was trying to sound happy, but the tears were still in her eyes. "I'll come over and take her for walks," Lizzie promised, "and then she can still be our class mascot." She knew it wasn't much, but she wanted to say something to make Meg feel better. On the way home, Meg told them about the things Casey had done in Mexico. She was amazing, Meg said. She found at least 5 people who were stuck inside buildings. That little girl was the last one, and Casey managed to pull her out of the wreckage, even with her shoulder hurting so terribly. "She should get a medal," Charles said. "She's a hero," Meg agreed. Dad had invited Meg over for dinner, so they drove straight home. Dad helped Meg lift Casey out of the van, and then they brought her inside and laid her down gently near the fireplace. Mom had made lasagna and garlic bread, and the house smelled wonderful. Buddy and Scout galloped all over to say hello to Casey. "Easy, you two," said Lizzie. Charles grabbed Buddy and picked him up, but Scout went straight to Casey. She seemed to know it was important to be gentle with the big, injured German Shepherd. The older dog and Scout touched noses, and Casey's tail thumped on the floor. Then Scout curled right up next to Casey as if she knew Casey needed comforting. Casey's eyes closed contentedly as she lay her head down and fell asleep. Casey's all worn out from the trip, Meg whispered. Boy, does she love that little pup. Watching the two dogs together, Lizzie had one more great idea. She crossed her fingers. It was probably too much to hope for, but Meg would be the perfect person to adopt Scout. After all, Meg was going to need a new partner. Scout needed a new home, and Casey needed a friend. Lizzie looked up at Meg. You know, Casey really wants to teach Scout about being a search and rescue dog, she said. And Scout would love to keep Casey company so she wouldn't get bored since she's going to be not working anymore. It's funny, Meg's eyes filled with tears again, but now she was smiling. I have been thinking the exact same thing. Really? Lizzie grinned at Meg, and then reached out to pat Scout. So does that mean you're going to adopt Scout? That's right. Meg gave Scout a kiss on the head, and I hope that all you will come and help me train her too. I would love to. Lizzie was thrilled that she got to spend more time with Scout. Lizzie looked at her family. Charles was holding Buddy close, but Buddy still managed to stretch his neck out and lick Bean's nose. Mom reached out to pat Buddy, and Dad put an arm around Mom. The Petersons smiled all at once, all together. Once again, they had helped a puppy find a perfect forever home. Wow, that was wonderful. What a great idea. Well, that's the end of this book. We'll be starting another one here tomorrow. I hope that you guys are having a great day. Listen to your parents, and remember, keep on reading. It won't hurt you. Bye-bye.